Hey everyone, Straight Designs here, and today we are going over a tutorial on how to make a really sci-fi text transformation inside of Cinema 4D. So I released a preview of this tutorial some time back on YouTube. I guess it's been 2 or 3 weeks and I haven't been really active. There have been reasons. I've been busy with school studies and stuff and haven't been able to devote much time to graphic designing. But anyways, I released the preview and today I'm releasing the tutorial. So this was what we were about to make. So as you see that this is a really nice transformation into 3D space, all done inside Cinema 4D, and uh, it's all rendered inside Cinema 4D in one single pass, no multi-pass renders. It's just the only one thing is that that I've done outside of Cinema 4D is this the flares, the 2 or 3 flares that are going on around here, and they are the only parts that have been done inside of After Effects in post-production, but I won't be going over them in this tutorial as they are not of much concern. We just want to look on how we have to make this text transformation. So before we start, I just want to let you know that you need 2 plugins, or actually you actually need 1 plugin, but the second one is optional. The 1 plugin that you need is Grayscale Gorilla Transform version 1.2. If you have the version 1.2, it must be a free upgrade for you. And the other plugin, which is not really necessary for this tutorial, is the Grayscale Gorilla HDRI Studio Kit. It has some HDR images that we'll be using for lighting. That's because it gives a really nice result and makes the work faster. You can use normal Cinema 4D lighting or your own HDR images, but we'll be using Grayscale Gorilla as most people have that on their machines. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, we have our Cinema 4D basic standard startup layout here. So before we start, I like to do the one thing first, which is editing the render settings and putting the render settings at what we will have them in the end. So we'll have the width at 1280 and the height at 720. We could have it at 1920 by 1080 also, but we won't be doing this obviously for a client, or I'm not doing this as a really final render for anything. So I guess 1280 by 720, the basic high definition is alright for this tutorial. It just saves some time and memory in rendering. So after that, you want to add 2 render options here, which are the ambient occlusion. Just right click on this area right here and click on ambient occlusion, right click again and click global illumination. So after that, just close this and let's get started. First of all, you want to go to the more graph and click on more text. This will create some basic text right here. To edit the text in the attributes manager, go to the text input box and enter your text. I'm entering Stratos, which is the company name, like so, and put off the caps lock. Now go to your font, and the font that I'll be choosing would be Bebas New. Let's see, here it is, and I'll just center out the camera somewhere here. Okay. And in the attributes manager, for the more text, you want to go and put that to middle alignment. The height is totally your own personal choice, but I guess the height at 200 centimeters is pretty much okay, and the depth can be at around 30 pixels so that it has some volume. Okay, after that you want to go to the caps and smooth the text out. So you will add a start and end cap. So the start cap would be a fillet cap and the end cap would also be a fillet cap. You can go to the start radius and make it 1. You can go to the end radius and make it you can go to the end radius and also make that 1. You want to go to the steps and make the steps 20. What is happening? I'm clicking on delete key again and again. Okay, so we go to the steps and put those to 20. We'll go to the steps on the end and we'll put that to 20 again, and it'll click OK. So what you see here is that we have actually smoothen out the text like so, and the edges aren't really rough. and it really just gives it a little more professional look. So after that, after you've done that, what you want to do is bring in the plugin, which is Transform. Go to your plugins menu and click on Transform. Well, this is the part where the fun begins. So take your mo text and drag it onto Transform, and you get this little hierarchy or a child icon beside your cursor, which shows a down arrow with a small box, which indicates that the mo text is now a child of the transform. Go to your transform plugin attributes and click on refresh, as it here says refresh, like so. After you've done that, you can straight away click on the timeline and click on the play button and see that it transforms. Well, this is really a basic transformation. We have a little bit of settings to tweak, and this is not a really advanced tutorial. This is a really basic one, but it looks really cool. So the update in the version 1.2 was that you could change the mode from cloner to polygons, and that is something that I really love. So if we just render this out, it's taking a bit of time because of the caps we added. It made a lot of what you can call polygons. It added some polygons because if you want to see that, well, if you go to the front view on the first frame and you go to the display and click on go road shading lines, you see there are a lot of polygons here. You see that, and that's what create the most of the geometry in the transform plugin. That's why there are so many actually pieces that are flying here and there. If you just decrease the caps, you can actually decrease the amount of polygons and make the renders and the playback faster, but I guess my machine can handle it, so I'll let it remain at that. I'll just bring the display to go road shading and switch off the lines. So what I want to do now is that something you might be noticing is that it's going out instead of forming itself, it's disintegrating. So to what you want to do to solve this it's really easy. You just want to go to the transition and put that in, or reverse. There are many more effects that you can try in this, but I guess transform is the one that we're looking for in this tutorial. You can even add some thickness to your pieces, but that would increase the render time by a lot and might just deform your text a little bit. The thickness factor is just good for shapes, not text, or not even for logos. I guess it's just good for you know, some shapes or some basic geometry. So after that, we are mostly done, I guess, as we have animation going on and all that stuff, and it's pretty good looking, I guess. So we see that some pieces appear out of 3D space and just form themselves into a text. So two last things that we have to do now is, first we want to create a camera that will be animating, and after that we'll set up the lighting for the scene. So we want to go to the camera and click on this little box with a square and a plus sign in the center, which and once you click it, it means that you are in the camera view, and everything that you move now will be moving the camera. So if we just move it down to about here, and by the way, this box that you see right here, well, it is the box that contains the text. So you want to keep this box pretty much in the center the whole time you are moving the camera. So while the camera is selected and in the camera view, I've just moved my camera to the bottom right of the text, and we'll be orbiting around somewhere here. So to animate that on the 0 frame, you want to be on the 0 frame and be on the bottom right somewhere here of the text, like so, and click on this little key icon, which creates a keyframe while you have the camera selected. Once you've done that, you want to go to the 90th frame, which is the 3-second mark. If we have it as 30 frames per second, the speed at 30 frames per second. Now at 90 frame mark, we want to just move it where we want the camera to be. We just zoom out a little, like so, I guess that looks pretty much interesting. And click on the keyframe again. So if we see that there is some nice camera movement and also the transformation taking place. So that is pretty nice. Let's make one material for our text right here. So I'll just go to the 85th frame where we can see some of the text, and just double click on the material manager right here and double click on the material that you create. We'll name this transform. You want to go to the color and you want to go to the color picker and select a nice color that you want for your text. I guess this one looks really sweet. Then you want to go to reflection channel, or if you have R16 like me, you want to go to the reflectance and add a legacy reflection. I should have added GGX or a lamboation layer to make it look like a realistic material, but I know that most people might still be working with R15 or R14, so I want this tutorial to be applicable for all the versions. That's why I'm using the legacy reflection. So in the legacy reflection, first of all, what we want to do is we want to decrease the brightness to about, I guess, 10%, and make the reflection color a little blue, little bit, so that it just diffuses in a bit better. After you've done that, I guess we don't want to tweak the material much, as if we make it more complex it will just take more render time. You can make that whatever you want. It's just for the sake of the tutorial that I'm keeping it quick. Now you want to drop this transform material onto your text, right onto the text into the editor, or directly onto the small text in the objects manager right here. Whatever you do, it will just give you the same thing in the end. So now what we want to do is we want to add the lighting, because if we render it just now, because of global illumination that we had put up earlier, we'll just get a black screen, as you see right here. So to add a lighting, as I told earlier, we'll be using the Grayscale Gorilla HDRI Studio Pack version 1.9. So we want to go to the window, maybe we'll go to the content browser, and in the HDRI Studio Pack right here you want to drop the studio rig onto your objects manager here. In the seamless floor controls tab in the attributes manager, you want to turn off the floor, because we don't want the floor right here, do we? We just want a blank 3D space, so we'll just remove this floor. Then you will go to the HDR Studio Rig, and the light options would give you the file option to choose the HDR file that would be used for the lighting. So you want to go to the studios and select an HDR file that you want to use to light your scene. We'll try one or two, I guess, to see which one suits the thing that we want. Let's see the overhead dots, and you want to just drag that file into the HDR file text editor here and just leave it there. And once you've done that, you can even see the preview by clicking on preview on. You can even see how this is looking. So I'll just do a still render of a render region by clicking and holding on the picture viewer and a clapboard here, and clicking on the render region, and we'll just select a part of that text here and we'll just render out. I guess it looks pretty awesome. I'll just render some other region where we have some particles. Go to about the 70th frame and render the end part like so. Let's see how this stuff looks. And I think I am liking the result. And by the way, if you don't like the angle of light that is falling on your object, you can even go to the rotation and play with it a little bit, so that the HDR rig just rotates and the lighting changes. And if you want the brightness to increase, you can just increase the brightness from this slider here. And that is pretty much it, guys. And I guess you like the result. And if you have any suggestions for the tutorial for the tutorial on if I should do a tutorial on post-production for this animation, just be sure to leave a comment. And before we leave, I will just tell you the render settings that you might want to use with this. So so we'll go back to the render settings by clicking on the cog icon, and you want to go to the output. You want to click on the frame range and go to the all frames, which will just render all frames from 0 to 90. Then you want to go to the save. You want to go to the format and select that as a QuickTime movie or a AVI movie. As prefer QuickTime, as it is really non-destructive, although the file is a bit heavy, but it is really high quality. I don't know why I said non-destructive earlier, but still it's very high quality, and QuickTime movie is the one I actually prefer for most of my projects. And I guess that's pretty much all you want to do. You can save the file by clicking on this little these little three dots, and saving them wherever you want. I'll just close it here and do one final render while it is rendering, and we'll see how this looks as a whole. I guess it'll take a minute, and I won't be pausing this at the moment because sometimes Camtasia actually screws the recording, and this is the second time I'm recording this. It actually screwed up the recording. The first time when I paused the video, it just misaligns the audio. So let's see how this is looking in the end. It has begun rendering the preview, and I really love the shading that's going on, along with some really subtle reflections, and I think that looks pretty dope, and it even looks better than what the preview I had shown to you earlier looked like, and it looks pretty grey. I guess that's pretty nice, isn't it? Well, that's pretty awesome. So I guess that's it for today, guys, and if you have any suggestions for further tutorials, please leave them.